Na, sziasztok fiúcskák, lánykák, kik a streamemet látják itt éjfél táján. Ez itt Repdevil csatornájával folytatódik. Egy kis laza. Ez egy kis laza, kis rím pár volt. Rím többlet. Na. Oly régóta nem volt már Horizon Forbidden West, hogy most azt mondtam, hogy vetítsél, már pedig akkor is elindulok. Na, mindjárt középre irányulok, és I am here. I am here. Csövi. Na ugye, ott hagytuk abba, főküldetés. Szereztem egy pár történetet. Látjátok, hogy eléggé be vagyok havazva, nyílvetővel, tartályvetővel, vadászíjjal, robbanó csúzlival, tüskevetővel és napcsapással. Fölszedegettem egy pár ami a térképen összeszedhető volt. Hogy már jó ideje tényleg nem voltam. És az a lényeg, még emlékszem, hogy megcsinálgattam ezeket a munkapadnál a erszényfejlesztéseket, igen, az erszényfejlesztések. Növeltem a cuccot. Az arénába akartam volna eljönni, valahol itt ezen a környéken, de nem lehetett, mert éppen csatára készültek. Így sajnos arénázni nem tudtam. Amit látjátok, jó sok zöld cucc van. Azért igyekeztem csinálgatni a dolgokat, de nem tudtam persze mindent megcsinálni. Ezt a kilátópontot nem tudtam megtalálni egyedül szinte, ahogy a minden mást igen. Kappa kemence. Hát azon, az vicces volt. Na de mindegy is, menjünk tovább akkor. Lássuk, hogy folytatódik tovább a történet. Az a lényeg. Ja, az előző részben ott fejeztük abba. Álljál csak meg, most hol vagyok? Itt, és erre kell valahol itt fölmennem, ahol már látom, már emlékszem. A sok Lego Star Wars elvette már egy kicsit a képzettségem ettől a játéktól, de még mindig azt mondom, hogy ez egyelőre 2022-es év legjobb játéka. Mondd akárki, akármit, de nekem ez egyelőre az évjátéka. Áprilisban mondván. Persze jöhet majd egy God of War, akkor az új God of War, nem tudom, hogy ebbe az évben jelenik-e már meg. De itt kell kimennem, hát itt jöttem be. Vagy nem. És még jöhet egy Forspoken is, ami megspékelheti még úgymond. Most mi van? Az előbb ki akartál engem dobatni innen. Másik ajtón küldjél már ki. Bocsi. Bocsánat a GPS miatt. Az őskori GPS látszik, hogy az őskorban vagyunk. Valamiért nem akar működni. A másik oldalt kell kiengedni engem, mert ott tudok fölmenni a napszárnyakhoz. Ezért. Itt. Itt megyünk ki. Ahol Vart eltemették, ugye az előző részben. És elvitték Gáját és Bétát is. Egyaránt. Itt temették el Vart, és itt kell felmennem valahol. Elvileg. Napszárnyasokhoz. De itt még nem tudok fölfele mászni. Mégiscsak jó fele mutat ez a szerencsétlenség. Menj a bázis feletti csúcsokra, ugyebár azt mutatja itt a térkép. Ja, ez a részleg itt. Ezért oldalra mutat, hogy menjek le, akkor ezek szerint jó helyre mutat. Jó van. Amúgy egy kérdés. Lehet, hogy már föltettem ebben a játékban. Az NPC-k. Melyik játékban segítettek titeket? Úgy őszintén. Mikor? Ki vagy te? Mi az? Mondjad.
Aloy, for helping me get the data on Leviathan. I didn't really know what to give you, so I asked Zoe what...
Thanks, Alpha.
Adatok a
Have
Leviatánról.
you looked through the data we recovered on Leviathan?
There is much to but I believe we'll be able to get it operational. And I've given more thought to everything we've uncovered about the ancestors. The Overseers would have us believe they were, but Pharaoh wasn't. Not. His greed led to machines that devoured the world. The archive of the Old One's knowledge destroyed, just to erase his... So, when we learned that Eileen had a hand in covering up hundreds of... I started to think they were all the same. Selfish. But, in the end, the truth isn't a straight line of... It's a splatter, smudged, and faded on stained parchment. I wish more Quen could see that. Instead of or twisting the truth to serve their own schemes.
I doubt Bohai would agree with you.
No, nor the rest of them. As Eileen said, it's easier to believe the lie is truth.
Ez már
It's
csak
worth
így
fighting
igaz.
for. And this diviner, at least, won't settle for anything less. For that.
Nagyon szívesen.
I gotta go.
I'll try.
Utaró védelmező. Na, kaptam egy szépséges 5 darab képzettségpontom van. Amúgy nem tudom, elmondtam-e, hogy most, hogy látom a jobb felső sarokban, ami nektek arra van, nekem erre van a jobb. 50-es szint a legtöbb, amit elérhetsz ebben a játékban. Amúgy kevésleg, de oké. Lehetséges róla szót tenni. Ha ezt mondjuk jó lenne fejleszteni, és ezt meg is teszem. Nem ezt akarom használni, ezt fejleszteni akarom. Van ennél sokkal jobb, ez is erős lövés. Erősebb lövés, ezt a Pisti imádná. Pajzs kiterjesztés. Én azt hiszem ezt használtam. És hát használni akartam. Ezt akarom használni. Mert ez ilyen pajzsot ad magad körül. És az elég baszó. Én olyan simi vagyok. Én ezt szeretem. Még a régebbi Zero Dawn-ban is ezt használtam, amikor megszereztem azokat a energiacellákat, vagy miket. Ezt akarom használni, hogyha benyomom az ultimate-et. Igen, csapdabetű. Én nem szoktam csapdát használni. Megmondom az őszintét. Ellenáll. Ha saját csapdátba esel. Jó van, mondjuk ezeket is kifejleszthetjük. Oké. Ja, én a izét akartam, a tárlista, ruha. És ez mitől jobb ennél? A fagyra meg a izére vagyok érzékeny, arra a lila szarra. Ennél meg a izé. A tűz, meg a izé. Mínuszos. Mondjad már, mi az a savas részleg. A zöld savas. A fagyra meg semmi. Amúgy nem néz ki olyan rosszul, de ez azért elég pitang. Számokkal rendelkezik ahhoz képest. Oszerem kézműves. Ezt sikerült így lootolnom. Nos. Ó, palik. Nem ajándékoztak meg. Nos hát. Menjünk tovább. Akkor itt kell kimennem, aztán fölmenni a hegyre. Úgy. Ennek a tetejére elvileg ott lesz napszárny. Valami madár. Szépen. Az úrsziromból jó színt lehet kinyerni. Jó van, Eloy. Te tudod. Rád bízom. Az éjkék sziromból már nem lehet. Ó, oda nézzé, mekkorát ugrik. Slow motionbe. Figyeld. Nézzük csak, ez a kislányka most elkap egy napszárnyat és repülni fog. Odafigyelsz. Gerincfa. 881. Minden fullos. Közepes életerő főzet. Kis életerő nincsen? Savcsapda. Kis életerő főzet. Nem lehet? Jó, hogy teli vagyok. Aha! Ó, akkor a közepesnél maradunk. Ami ez az. Kukucs, madárkák. Én csak az egyiket akarom ellopni. Az előző videó. Lássuk a történet folytatását. Nagyon kíváncsi vagyok. Most elvileg háborúba indulunk. Wow. Föl. Kapálózzál jobban? Hogy kell ezeket repültetni amúgy? Úra nézzél, napszárny hívása. Megszerezve. Wow. Előre lepülj. Csak az X-et, hogyha előre. Bukó fordulóhoz. Oda nézel. A levegőben vagyok, Tilda. Egyik hőrös Horus titántól. Haha, kösz. Ó, az egyetlen tollnek, amit nem törtem föl. Repülj a hosszú nyakhoz. Lehet valahogy gyorsítani, vagy így is jó? Ez a tollneket meg kell szerezni a napszárnynak a segítségével. Az egyetlen tollnek, amire nem tudtam felszállni. Lassíts. Aha. Körrel lassítok. Felemelkedni R1, leereszkedni R2. Ezt mutathatnád, no? Végig. Landolás. Feltörés. Az utolsó hosszú nyak. A térképen. Minden hosszú nyak föltörve.
Simply pick one up on a Horus. The nearest one should be northwest of your position. Dropping it on Regala's machine should produce quite a spectacle.
Thanks for the assist.
I told you, I want to help.
Napszárny hívása. Jézus Mária! Egy kicsit megijesztett azért, mit nem mondjak. Jó, van, megjegyeztem, hogy kell ezeken repülni. Én mondjuk inkább repülök, mint hogy a hátast használjak. Ez viszont óriási. Ezért. Ezt ezt így meg lehet ülni. Wow. Nekem ez így nagyon tetszik. Ezzel így meg pluszpontokat szerzett nálam. Hogy ezt így lehet használni. Bár tudtam, hogy lehet napszárnyat használni. Láttam valamelyik videóban, hogy már meg lehet ülni ezeket a otromba állatokat. De gyűjts Horus energiacellákat. És az vajon melyik? Horus energiacella. Ez itt fönn a tetején? A titán hátán. És ez most felvétel. Az irány a liget. Igen. Multidéző liget. Állat. Ez így nagyon tetszik. Még magasabbról figyelhetjük magát ezt a helyet. Eddig se volt csúnya, így meg aztán gyönyörű. Állat. Ott megy a harc, mi? Ahol füstülnek. Ne háborúzzatok, szeretkezzetek.
It's all over, Chaplain.
I gotta drop it now. Here goes.
Viszlát.
She flies on the wings of the Ten.
The tide has turned. Push through. End of the line, Hakar. Now on your knees, and I'll give you the death you didn't have the spine to give me.
They're down! The machines! All of them! They're down!
What? How's that possible? Regala!
I am here.
Enough bloodshed! Let's settle this. You and me. Easy to say when you're atop a machine.
És te az elején mit csináltál? Mit csináltál? Mit csináltál az elején? Te is egy gép tetején voltál.
I don't need any help to take you down. Fine. I accept your challenge.
Nagy az arc egy 50-es szintűnek. A szemébe nézve.
The duel is set. Let none interfere.
Nekem kell legyőznöm őt, vagy? Az Istenit. Na várjál, csak már rég nem bírtam. Ott a szépen a karjára. Szedd le azt a szerencsétlen szart. Jó, van, állj már le. Szar vagy. Au, au. Ez azt a kis csajoda, nem? Micsoda fight.
Alright, so that's how it's gonna be.
That is left of your story.
Oda néz, ekkora fejes kapott. Te se. Oda figyelsz. Hát, ó, basszus, erre érzékeny vagyok. Hol vagy, öcsi? Ott. Mekkora heltje van. Az Isten, csak kilő. Ezt is keveték. Megtévesztés. Gyerünk el, oly. Te vagy a jobbik nő. Cica harc. Au. Aljál már félbe. Au. Nem is sejtettem, hogy ezt csinálja. Rezonátor sebzés. Fejéről leszettem a cuccot. Jó van már. Pinál lőttem. Mármint vagirán. Jobban tetszik. Oda néz, micsoda. Ja, hogy védekezik, akkor azt így nem szabad. Jó, jó. Odafigyelsz. Erre érzékeny vagyok sajnos. Várjál csak. Kukucspöcsök. Fejen sontam. De ő is engem. Mit védekezel, öcsi? De össze se... No, egy kicsit befostam tőle, de... De nem akarlak megölni, te jány. Olyan hülye vagy, hogy egymással háborúztok itt.
Shut your mouth, traitor.
It was you who flew in on the wings of the 10. You who challenged her by outright.
You are the
You
winner.
must decide her fate. I spared her once. It only made things worse. She was the best of my marshals. What a waste.
She's dangerous, all right.
Rám
Maybe that's
bízza, mi?
exactly what I need.
Cowards! What more do you have to conspire about?
Whether
Van
you
nagyobb
live or
veszem.
die,
Van nagyobb döntés is. Na, van nagyobb gondunk is, mint hogy ezt a fasságot műveljük itt.
I'm not here to forgive you for your crimes. But there's another battle ahead. Against an enemy more powerful than anything you can imagine. And I need people. A squad. That's
Gyere.
willing to do whatever it takes.
Gyere, whatever it takes, ahogy
It's not
a
mercy.
bosszúállókban is mondták. Gyere.
The battle I'm talking about will be charging into a nightmare.
A better death than this? Yes. My blood is yours. Your enemies are mine.
Meet us at our stronghold, in the mountains near Plainsong.
You mean to send her alone? Without even an armed guard?
She does not need it.
I will be there. You have my word.
I'll hold you to it.
Chief, there's something you both need to see. In the throne room.
Végre. Elég embert gyalultam le. Most ezek a zenitesek jönnek.
He surrendered to our guards outside the grill.
Piszkosul érem, mi?
Claims he has an urgent message for the outlander who defeated Regala.
So,
Minek maszkoztad be az arcot? Covid már elmúlt, hello. Legalábbis azt mondták, hogy jól egyáltalán volt is. Silence.
I'm gonna need some privacy.
clear the room. Put him with the rest of Regala's soldiers.
Basszus, no. Itt a végén én már alig akarom befejezni.
You saved the tribe. Let me help you with your mission.
No. With Regala gone, you have a chance to build the future you dreamed of. So get to your task.
Then at least allow me to give you this. Armor for the battle ahead. May it keep you safe.
Mit kapok?
Thank you.
Mit adott? Szevasz, silence, te köcsög. Where are you now?
Do you have any idea what you've just done?
Oh, it's a pleasure to see you too, Silence.
Congratulations on your victory. You saved the Tanakh for a few weeks. Unfortunately, you've doomed the entire planet as well.
Wrong.
Mer?
I don't need a Tanakh army to defeat the Zeniths.
Oh, Eloy. Have you learned nothing about the enemy we're up against?
More than you, hiding whatever hole you found. My idea is just better than anything you ever came up with.
Go on.
No, not here. We're doing this my way. Face to face, and with the weapon you've developed.
And why would I agree to that?
Because I'm your only way of beating the Zeniths, and getting the copy of Apollo that's on their ship. So meet me at my base. Mountains west of Plainsong.
Igazi parti lesz ott a bázisomnál
person who actually knows what she's doing. Don't be late.
Ugye? A tiszek szárnyán repültél.
Tilda, you there? I did it. Silence is on board. So head to my base.
Impressive.
Kettő közé.
I'll be there as soon as I can.
Képzettségpont. Szingularitás. Tér vissza a bázisra. Arcfestés feloldva. Mit kaptam újat? Tanak főmarsal. De ez se néz ki rosszul, de még mindig ennél maradok, mert ez Isten baszó. Szevasz, Dekka és K.O.
So, Aloy, you've added yet another deed to your name.
Bezonyám,
And I'm
I'm
guessing by
here.
the look in your eyes that you're not done yet.
Not quite.
Is there anything we can do? We owe you that much.
After everything you've been through, you're one of the best people to support Hikaru's bid for peace. Not just between the clans, but with the Karja too.
Then I will. You have my word.
And until my last breath, I'll make sure the tribe remembers all that you've done for us.
Bocs.
There walks the warrior on the wings of the ten.
Always. The flame of the desert now flies on the wings of the ten. Will wonders never cease?
I thought you wanted to stay neutral.
In the end, I decided that if you thought Hikaru was worth fighting for, then that was good enough for me.
I'm honored.
The honor is mine. I hope you know what you're doing. Sparing Regala caused this mess to begin with.
And so the Wings of the Ten found us when things were at their direst.
I'm not some legend come to life, Chitaka.
That may be, but we will always be in your debt.
Ezekkel mind melléküldetés volt amúgy. Mint ahogy vele is.
Ateka. I figured I'd see you here.
Of course. The Lowland clan fought for our own today. And like the day Hikaru conquered the grove.
Oda néz, mi védi a mellét, csak pár szőr, vagy mi
The
ez?
same look in his eyes as I did then.
Az szép, nem is melltartó.
His vision for us endures.
Össze figyeltem
He'll need your
eddig.
continued support, I'm sure.
And he will always have it. Thank you for everything, Aloy.
Nagyon szívesen.
Train in the arena. What for?
Ready for the next cool route.
The chaplains will preach of this battle for as long as the tribe lives on.
Tekote. Az igen.
Thought you'd be back at the bulwark.
Let it be known that the Sky Clan defended the grove today.
Hát ez mit keres itt?
Battle as it was, until you flew in on the wings of the Ten, that is. We are in your debt.
You fought for your tribe, so your debt is paid.
On your way, then.
You honor the Tanakh.
From Wallbreaker to the wings of the ten. You've racked up a lot of deeds, haven't you? Your part in today's battle will be recounted for years to come by me and all chaplains who come after.
Ilyen ügyes voltam.
We must all unite to stop Regala.
Na de, most már nyitva az aréna is. Majd még be fogok szállni oda. Nos, először is ide utazunk. Majd megnézzük, hogy hol tartunk valójában. Fölvétel ügyileg. Most egy pillanatra eltűntem. Ó, még csak fél óra. Bő fél óra ment el. Pletyka. Jó, most nem érdekel a pletykád. Bocsáss meg. Bocsáss meg, de tudok már mit tudnom kell. Fölfedeztem a térkép legnagyobb részét. Hát csak nyugaton, meg délen, délkeleten van egy hely. Erre a kettőre gondoltam itt. Hát inkább ez. Ez itt ezt a részt. Repülj a hajóroncshoz. A hazaút. Igazság árja. Na, ezeket itt meg lehet csinálni. A hazaút. A mellékküldetésként. Utólag is. Azt furcsálom tényleg, hogy ott egy felkiáltójel.
Hey, Mr. Know-It-All is here. You know, your focus buddy who never smiles. I didn't know what to do with him, so I had him wait in your room.
Fókuszpajtika. Kire gondolsz? Ó, bocs. A Silence. Persze, ő a fókuszos csávó.
Well, Silence.
Élőben is látni téged. Mi a franc?
I'm glad it's there, actually. It kept me from having to mingle with the company we keep. But enough prattle. I believe you owe me an explanation. Your plans for the Zenith base?
You're right. I do owe you. My spear in your throat for deceiving me again. At the Hades Proving Lab.
I doubt you asked me here for that kind of reckoning.
No. Right now, I need your help. So I'm giving you one final chance. But if you ever betray me again,
Különben én megyek oda és széjjelverem azt a szerencsétlen kopasz fejedet. Hogyha még egyszer ezt a lányt itt megbántod. Komolyan mondom.
Aloy, your other guest is here. She's, coming to you.
Regala.
good timing. The truth is, I can't actually get us into the base. But she can.
Nem. Nem, ő nem Regala. Hanem a holland Kerien Moss.
Oh, look. That must be your little invention.
Does the weapon work? Without self-destructing?
Of course it does. I've eliminated the imperfections and greatly improved its design and output.
How can we be sure?
Care for a demonstration?
Enough, both of you. We're in this together, at least for now. Go talk to Erend. Tell him I said to give you rooms of your own. I'll come see you when I get a chance.
Oh, no. You first.
Hoppáré. Ezek még a végén egymásba szeretnek.
Better get everyone in the control room, so Tilda can tell us what she knows about the Zenith base.
Hát ez nem lesz semmi, srácok és lányok. Medálvizsgálat, nem tudsz valami újat mondani? Nem. Mi ez? Fókuszvizsgálata. Kié? Varley.
I used to think no Nora would ever accept one. But Varl did. Even when he was overwhelmed. He refused to let me push him away. I failed Varl at Gemini. I should have pushed harder. I should have done more. I'd give anything to have him back.
Szegény Varl, basszus. És úgy sajnálom. Főleg, hogy gyereke van. Szinte gyereke lesz, inkább úgy mondom.
With Regala out of the way, Hikaru and Tanakh, they're safe. The future's up to them now. I do wish they'd drop all the honorary names they've given me. But if I've learned anything about them, that is not a battle I am going to win.
Hogy megpattan el olyankor.
When it looks impossible, look deeper. And then fight like you can win. I will, Rost. Now and always.
Nem lehet fölvenni azt a medáliont, mert én megtenném.
I keep thinking.
Hoppá.
He's just... Aloy.
Zo?
I'm glad to see you're okay, though. I heard you gave the Tanakh something to talk about. I was half expecting you to burst in through the ceiling riding a sunwing.
Sorry to disappoint. Thoughts on our new Zenith equipment?
I'd say she smells like death, but even death smells of something. She's more like a cold piece of metal. Bent on repelling all...
Have you talked to any of our...
Erend and I tried speaking to Silence, but apparently our...
Charming is... ready to head over to the Zenith base?
Whatever comes?
I have to go. I trust...
I'll make sure Erend doesn't punch Silence in the face, if that's...
Na jó és. De azért ne erőltesd túl magad. Légy szíves.
Wish I could say we don't need them, but silent even Regala.
Yeah. Enemy of my enemy.
Right.
Na, zenitesek.
You, talk to Tilda at all?
I tried. I don't think even a hot forge could melt that ice. And you say she wants to help?
I think so. Doesn't look like any of our guests.
Yet. So, Katalo tells me I've been busting my balls trying to learn to read. You're out there having all the...
Don't worry. You'll be getting all the fun you can handle soon.
Looking forward to it.
I guess Silence is keeping to himself, as usual.
I was hoping you'd give me an excuse to hammer his sorry ass to...
Please don't.
You telling me you wouldn't want to get just one good hit on that smug face after everything he's done?
Sure. Later. Right now, he's...
Igaza van Eloynak.
Oh, you know where to...
Hoppá, Alva még mindig akar valamit?
You flew? Kotalo told me. And took out Regal. You know what? I don't even know why. I saw we have visitors. Does this mean we're ready to take the fight to...
Almost. I suppose you saw that Tilda is here.
I almost went up to her to ask her, well, every question I've ever... Every diviner I know would kill to get 5 minutes with one of the old ones. But now that she's here, all I feel is I don't know if I'm scared of finding out more uncomfortable truths, or just scared of her. Probably both.
You sure you're okay going on this... I know things must be happening pretty fast for you.
I've already braved oceans and madmen who thought they were ancestors. Why not a few immortals with lethal...
Guess the more the merrier. Are you okay?
I was wondering, is it really safe having someone like Regala here? She seems angry. The kind of angry that leads to...
Don't worry. We're going to point that anger at the Zeniths.
If you say so.
I hope our new guests have been behaved.
This Silence, he's the one who built the weapon that can...
He is. Though I wouldn't expect him to answer any questions about it. He refuses to dole out his secrets to us lesser mortals.
Oh.
You know that special part of us that makes us warm? Yeah. He was born without them.
Igen, az azért szükséges. Az szükséges. Még elvileg. Silence-en nem tudok beszélni.
There you are. Well done. Despite my reservations, you managed. You're truly a shining example of this.
I've been thinking about what you said at your house. It was more than that. Wasn't
perceptive as ever. You're right, we were together.
Okay, so... What happened?
Yeah.
I was an orphan. By my 30s, I was starting to wonder if that was simply my fate in life. And then I met Liz. I think we'd have coffee. At some point, it became drinks.
Hoppá!
I thought it was just shop talk, an exchange, but Then I was surprised. Soon we were flying halfway across the world every other week just to meet up. For the first time, I didn't feel lonely. I could imagine a future where I wasn't. I think Liz felt the same way at first. She had lost her mother a few years back. I filled a void for her. I know, but as time passed, it seemed as though she wanted less. And
so helping me, restoring Elizabeth's dream.
A second chance, yes. I made a mistake leaving Earth while Liz stayed behind. So when I saw you, a woman who has carved her own beyond even what made Liz a phenomenon, I knew I had to help you.
So, Eric, was he always...
I believe he got worse over time. On Earth, he was the founder of a profitable band of cutthroats, in other words. Even as governments abandoned human combatants in favor of automated warfare. He found success with clientele that required a more personal touch. There were also rumors that he personally hunted and killed on occasion, all for the... But on Sirius, he retreated to virtual reality. In them, he could go on rampages as violent, though I suspect with diminishing satisfaction.
All of us tribe believes he was one of the greatest people from the old world.
Then they would be quite disappointed to meet him. Though I'm sure he'd bask in
Szimulációk, amikor oda is mehetnek.
What can you tell me about Gerard?
He was the head of the world's largest financial conglomerate, and as such had dealings with almost every major corporation. It made him one of the wealthiest people on Earth, and certainly the wealthiest among Far Zenith.
What does one person do with that much money?
Buy more power, more influence. Gerard's always believed himself to be a refined patrician, able to maintain control with a... But beneath that exterior is a cold and calculating operator. It was his decision to restrict Beta's upbringing to her digital education, the avatars of the Apollo database, while we were painted as her benefactors.
Well, we'll deal with him soon enough. And the others.
I would very much like to see his face when he realized.
When I was in the ruins of Vegas, I found data on a man named... I think he was a Zenith.
Stanley, ever the optimist. When we established our colony, he built an exact replica of Las Vegas. Lights, shows, gambling, every detail perfectly recreated. And while others cloistered themselves in their own fantasies, he flung his doors wide to everyone.
The way you're talking about him, I'm guessing he didn't make it back to Earth?
No, he perished when our colony was destroyed. He would have been thrilled to discover that part of his beloved city survived.
When Beta escaped and hid in an ancient research facility, I saw another one of the Zeniths, Verbena. Who was she?
A dull star amidst a sea of brighter. Unlike most of Far Zenith's members who amassed their wealth through shrewd business deals and technological achievement, Verbena inherited her billion. Her father had achieved great success in the luxury At age 24, she became the world's most eligible bachelorette, branding herself a life designer, someone who leverages their fame to influence the choice of others.
What, like a cult?
In a way, yes.
Well, she must have done something right to have survived this.
She was her own brand of ruthless. That much is true. But even rats can cling to a vessel for escape.
Okay, so I've had run-ins with a handful of Zeniths.
An array of the wealthiest people on Earth. Titans of their...
And let me guess. All selfish?
Most, but not all. There were a few with whom I got along. Annika Murjani, for instance, was always delightful. She founded the Holonet's most successful dance channel and was herself mesmerizing to watch. And I had fascinating discussions with Song Jiao about her work in cellular biology. Our immortality treatments are due in part to her achievements. But then there were others like Devin Miller, the CEO of a fast food printing corporation. His only real preoccupation was golf swing and taking self-hollows. When I think about all of us, we really should have accomplished more. We had eternity.
You said before that you're not like the other Zeniths. That you never were. But you went along with all of their plans.
Out of necessity. I'm not proud of it. But complicity became a means of survival, both when Earth was consumed and when the colony on Sirius was destroyed. I did what I had to. But I resolved to remain, to try to undo what damage I could. Hence the data channel with Beta. The secret passage into their base and the little trick I pulled.
Why did you make the data channel look like your house?
I built that house as a shelter to weather any storm. A safe place, not just for me, but for the art stored in its cultural artifacts of incalculable value.
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing, I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else, a heritage every bit as valuable as the scientific and technical data. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret sharing this house with her. She needed its shelter even more than I did.
Why do you think Elizabeth pulled?
I've wondered that for 1,000 years. She was brilliant. She cared so deeply for the world. But it also felt like she kept everyone at arm's length, including me. She never wanted to share her burden. I think, in the end, she had a core that she never let anyone be part. Sometimes I wonder if anyone really knew her.
I found a recording of you.
Az a helyzet velem is.
Back in the proving lab.
Legalábbis az utolsó mondatta, hogy valaki ismer egyáltalán ténylegesen.
A most unpleasant conversation.
She said something after the call. I think she regretted how things ended between you.
Did she? All this time. Thank you for telling me. I've always hated that those were the last words we ever, and that her last impression of me was as a functionary of Far Zenith, not who I truly am.
When it's time to break into the Zenith base, what can we expect?
I'll go over the full layout once you've assembled your friends. Suffice it to say, we will need to push as fast as possible to Beta and Gaia, dealing with heavy resistance along the... There are also printing facilities where...
What for?
First for use in the base's infrastructure, and then to fabricate a small army of them.
When I was out in the wilds, I saw a shuttle take off from the island. Heading...
It was likely ferrying materials to and from our ship in orbit. After hundreds of years luxuriating in our digital comfort, the ship was barely space-worthy when we made our escape. Disaster can strike at any moment. We've learned our lesson.
Have you figured out how Silence's weapon works?
No, and he's been very careful not to. I'll admit it bothers me, but I am confident it will deactivate the other shields en masse.
How many of them are in the base?
10, including only a handful of us made it to our ship when our colony collapsed.
Okay, I'll let you know when it's time.
I'll be here until... And thank you, Aloy, for giving me this chance. My past has always been a struggle. More than once I've lost. But when I look to the... I see Liz's dream fulfilled.
Maybe we can make it happen.
We will. I won't let anything get in the way.
Bocs, de muszáj. Szerintem ez érdekes beszélgetések ezek.
I see you've got your new arm ready to go.
Yes. It still feels strange. I've gotten used to the absence, but no matter. I'm sure I will need it before the attack on the Zenith base is through.
Haven't seen you since the battle at the Grove.
I saw you fly on the wings of the 10. I would say that I am...
Thank you.
It is I who should be thanking.
Your people keep mentioning the wings of the 10.
The visions tell us that the 10 flew on great metal machines and leapt into battle for us. To imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess. It is why the challengers leap into the arena during the cool route.
Bocsánat, de hátra kell raknom a hátam.
have done it.
Még csak
Like the
ilyen
deeds of the
piciben
ten
is
themselves,
látszom.
it will never be forgotten. So, tell me, how did it feel?
Na?
I won't lie. Pretty good.
I can only imagine.
I bet people are curious about that new art.
None more than our Quen ally, I assure you. She couldn't wait to take it apart and figure out how it works. I gave her the data I used to build, hoping that would satisfy her.
Good luck with that. Did you meet Tilda?
There is something about her that doesn't... I wouldn't be surprised if my sword went through her and she didn't bleed at all.
Honestly, with her, nothing would surprise me. Things will get ugly once the Zeniths realize we're in their base. You'll need every trick you've ever learned.
I would have it no other way. Many soldiers died in the old world to make sure we stood here today. We will endure on their behalf. Though,
Így van.
I am curious how you intend to defeat the Zenith's defenses without an army of our own.
Leave that to me. Just make sure you're ready to fight.
As you say, you have more than earned my trust.
Think you're ready to put all your training to the test?
I am Tenakth. I am always ready.
Look, I know you're probably not happy about keeping Regala around, but I want her on our side when we fight the Zeniths.
It is more than she deserves. Even so, I will not question your judgment.
Thank you.
Köszönöm.
You nervous about the mission ahead?
If I live, it will be in victory. If I die, it will be in battle. What matters most is that you achieve your objective.
I'll do my best.
Bájos.
Anything new going on I should know about?
The Quen has been more insistent than usual, asking about the visions. Her pursuit of knowledge is relentless. The Ten would...
Just think of her like one of your...
Yes. Only...
I have to go. But I'll be brief.
Understood.
Understood. Ha már csak hogyha minden igaz, akkor egy ember maradt. Silence. Hol tűnt ez a szerencsétlen? Hogy sonnálak pofán, szerencsétlen. Na, csak Silence nem találom.
Did you need something? Bravo.
Ha már csak te.
You managed to sway a Zenith to your side. Care to explain?
Nem.
Not a chance. I thought you said the weapon was ready.
There's always room to optimize. But that's not why you're here. I assume you want to comprehend my undertakings. So, ask away.
Azért vagyok
Why
itt.
were you so forthcoming?
Since you turned this into a waiting game, and as it seems you have found modest success, perhaps I'm willing to be generous.
Ó, milyen nagy lelkű vagy. Túl sok kérdés, nem?
Okay, so your big
Tetek fel.
plan, everything you've been manipulating for the last few months. Let me see if I got this straight. You learned about the Zeniths from Hades when you interrogated it. Then you came up with a plan to defeat them by using a Tenakth army and that weapon. And to get the Tenakth to fight for you, or rather the sons of Prometheus, armed Regala's rebels with override tech.
Did you have an actual question, or are you still playing catch-up?
So all this time, even before I found the coordinates at the Spire, you were out here scheming. Why couldn't you just tell me?
When I learned of the Zenith's return to Earth, I laid out my plans. I knew I would one day require an army of overzealous Tenakth to assault the Zenith base. The casualties would be extreme. And I knew you would never allow such a sacrifice, no matter how necessary. Thus, I devised a means to remove your interference from the equation at the Hades Proving Lab.
why create the Sons of Prometheus? You
Már
didn't decide
nincsenek.
to make override tech.
They were a necessary safeguard. My time serving Hades in the Eclipse demonstrated the risks of getting directly involved. Through the Sons of Prometheus, I could execute my plans, all while remaining anonymous.
Except to Asera. How did you get Asera to work for you?
I knew there was an associate of the Oseram tinker, Durval, who escaped his failed assault on Meridian. It was trivial to track her down and gain her cooperation. She wanted to succeed where Durval had failed.
So you promised her Regala and the Tenakth. Asera would help you create a machine-riding army and wanted to see Meridian burn as much as she did.
And so a partnership was born out of thirst for blood, bonded in mutual self-interest.
You think you had everything figured out, huh?
I did.
You wanted me to surrender to the Zenith at the Hades Proving Lab. They almost killed me.
Based on everything I knew about them, I concluded they would find you a useful asset, thereby keeping you out of harm's way and, more importantly, out of my way.
So you really didn't know they had their own clone of Elizabeth?
No. Unfortunately, there was no way I could have known that particular detail.
Detail? Well, I guess if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't be here today. Tell me about the weapon. How does it work?
I've upgraded the delivery system. It now emits a wave-like effect covering a significant distance.
That doesn't fully answer my question.
No, but I'd be a fool to reveal its inner working. After all, why did you withhold your plan for dealing with the Zenith drones? Yes, even you can appreciate the value of secrecy when warranted. Suffice it to say that the weapon will work. The intricacies of how is knowledge that is mine alone.
Why help Regala take over? If you wanted an army, you could have just gone to Hekarro.
Before Regala's rebellion, Hekarro was only concerned with battling machines and fostering friendships with Akarja. Even if I gained his ear, he would never agree to send his forces to battle a threat he couldn't understand.
So helping a bloodthirsty exile was easier?
Yes, exceedingly so. All Regala craved was war, against the Karja and anyone who threatens the Tanakh. She would have led the tribe into battle without quit, which was precisely what I needed.
While I was out there, I had a couple run-ins with
the tribe from across the ocean.
Their entire tribe was shaped around the discovery of folk. One of them, Alva, even joined me here. Don't you want to know more about them?
No. They stumbled upon the greatest technology. What did they do with it? They shrouded the knowledge they unearthed in mysticism and taboo, creating...
Yes, well...
Did it now?
So those run-ins with the Quen I mentioned. On one of them I teamed up with their expedition to search Thebes.
You must have needed Omega clearance. So, what was it like?
Worse than you can imagine.
He single-handedly wiped out collective human knowledge. I'm sure it was still less than he deserved.
Let me guess. You would have scraped him into a jar so you could prod his brain, like what you did with Hades.
For a start.
Alright, Silence. I think I've talked to you long enough. I'll let you know when it's time to go. And try not to mess with Tilda while you're in here, okay? I don't need the two of you butting heads.
Yes. About your I wonder if you understand what kind of person you're dealing with. For someone to live as long as she has, outlast as many calamities, well, your goals may be aligned now, but I'd watch for them.
Yeah, I'm aware. Reminds me of someone else I know.
Survival is only a necessity to my greater purpose, Aloy. I'd hoped you'd recognize that by now.
Do you know something or not?
Oh, I know a great deal of things. But on this...
Oh, a feeling. You mean you finally had one? Huh. Guess even you can change, Silence.
Na. Akkor. Csináljuk meg. Csináljuk meg a partit, gyerünk. Hol tartunk? Egy pillanatra hadd nézem meg. 1 óra 5. Azt mondom, hogy indítok egy másik videót is. Visszajövök. Addig is. Legyen szép napotok. Csá!